All right, anyway, Breadman up next. Disto, check your DM. I like it. I like it a lot. Get you up there. Yeah, overall, just like, I don't know, the vibe, the sample usage, I'll put you up there. All these people in the top 4 won anyway, so it's not going to matter for the gifts, but just for the placement, I like that. Okay, that is your sample for today. That is your sample for today.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Brendan. I go by Breadman, and today I just wanted to break down how I made the Kenny Beats battle, how I placed first place, and how I flipped the sample and made the track and all that good stuff. So, yeah, without further ado, let's jump into Logic. Okay, so this is the project file. I took the liberty of giving all these nice colors so you guys can differentiate. For the first part, I took a few of the chops and just really like shortened it, put some fade on it, and this is what that sounds like. For this little pre-chorus section, I just resampled one note of it and then put some effects on it, a little bit of bit crusher and some tape delay to give it some space and some tail, and then some Valhalla vintage verb, of course. So this is what that sounds like. Super simple. This is probably my favorite part of how I use the sample. It's the same chords as the main synth, but I just put the Logic Arper on it, and then I use this bouncing funk preset. Again, put some bit crusher on it and made it really dry just to have it like stand out. Put some kickstart to give it that pumping effect, some sample delay, and then this ultra pitch thing. I don't even know if it makes any difference, but yeah, I used it. So there you go. So this is what that sounds like. The first thing I played was this melody. It's super basic, just like goes between 2 chords, but I do love me some 2-chord songs. So for the main synth in this track, it's the Serum preset that I used here. I modeled it after this like 53 Thieves tutorial that I watched on YouTube. I forget what exactly it's called, but I'm sure if you search it up, you can find it. And then I just played between like 2 chords. I think it was like A minor 7, and then this is like E minor 7 and 9, and then just a little diminished chord to bring it back full circle. This really just goes throughout the entire track, besides these small parts where I used, I think, Lounge Lizard, just to kind of lead it back into the main groove. So and then I also have this other chord part in the latter half, which is this Tao, like kind of Juno emulation. It was just some random preset that I was scrolling through. Percussive plugger, you the plug. It's the same as the chords. I just kind of rolled the keys when I played it this time around. I didn't quantize anything, and yeah, kept it pretty dry, I think. Yeah, it kind of sits on top. This is what I did for all the drums, kick and snare, and then a bunch of different like rolls and things like that. Some hats, and then some more rolls, and some cowbell, of course, and a little laser sound, and yeah, a little kid saying eh. This is from the Monty Pack. This is from Memblem. Shout out to Memblem. This kick is an Esta kick. I think you can just get it on Splice. Snare is a snare that I saved from like a previous project a while ago. But yeah, one of my go-tos. So it's nice and fat in stereo. This is what that sounds like. Whoop. I scooted the snares forward just a little bit to give it more swing, left the hats unquantized. I had this like little percussion texture from the count, but I rolled off basically everything. But it really fills out the mix like on that super high end, and then some like birds in the background just to give it some more texture as well. So without the textures, it sounds like this. And then with, just gives it a bunch more body. So yeah, I think that's basically the drums. I just took stuff out for this pre-chorus section and the drop, and yeah, just like did little cuts here and there before each section. The rolls are really what like give it swing, I feel. Like these little rolls that lead into the snare, and then these little hat rolls and stuff as well on the bottom here. For the 808s, pretty simple. I used the Love one from the Monty Pack, one of my favorites. Oh, you guys use the Monty Pack too much. Well, man, I like it, so I'm gonna use it. So yeah, pretty simple. Just followed the root notes, and then I used this Ozone Dynamic EQ to kind of carve out the transient for, or like the main tone for the kick here. So every time the kick hits with the 808, it kind of ducks that certain frequency, so the kick can kind of have its own pocket. Yeah, and then I just threw some Big Crusher to give it some top end, and yeah, super basic. It's the same pattern throughout the whole track. Really, most of the variation happens with the melodies and the different ways that I chop the sample. So yeah, this is what that sounds like with the drums. Cool. The main melody is kind of like the star of the show or the track or whatever. But yeah, it's another Serum preset. I built it off of the main synth and then just added another oscillator. I changed like the LFO, and it's just like this really warm, kind of dry like sound. This is what that sounds like. I latch this envelope onto the filter so it kind of just opens up as it plays, and yeah, threw some unison on it, some detune to give it some width. On top of that, doubled, I have the same melody or the same MIDI. It's just a different sound. I think this is also sampled from the Monty Pack, so it's just a one shot, and then I threw some chorus on it, and then a bunch of sample delay. So the main melody kind of takes care of the center of the mix, and then this other melody layer really lags between both speakers to give it a lot of width. So yeah, definitely my favorite part. So this is what those two sound like together. Yeah, I just cut everything out to have this like melody lead into the next section, or the chorus section in this case. So this is what that sounds like all together. CPU is dying because my laptop can't handle this, but you get the idea. Also included this little like violin part. I have this preset that I've saved. It's called Constant String. It's literally just the string preset from Logic. Disco strings. But yeah, just rolled off a bunch of the low end. I use this high string a lot in basically all of my production. I feel like it just kind of like fills out the mix and gives your ear like something constant to hang on between like the pockets of space. This is what that sounds like. Super basic. Yep, nothing to it. And then I just sidechain that to the kick. And then I have this like little vocal chop. I played something on arcade and then I just chopped it up here. So this is what that sounds like. Yeah.